Has it worked? I hope so. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Lazy Mini Painting. I'm Laz. Hello. Today we have issue 60 of Combat Patrol, which is the Einhyr Hearthguard. That's going to be fun. I am just about conscious. I may not look it, I may not sound it, but I am. Honest-ish. Why isn't that one? Why hasn't that one started? Okay. Okay. That's a bit odd. That's very odd. Okay. Right, both of them have started, which is good. And I can put them in my watch list so I can come and join you on portrait mode. It was weird, it was telling me that the other one had started, and that was odd. One had, and one hadn't. Just got to click on the correct one this time. Yeah, there we go. So I can at least see people, hopefully, in the portrait mode as well. So, good morning to anyone who's joined me and come in. As I said, it is issue 60 today, so it is the Einhyr Hearthguard. We'll learn about the Hernkin and then hold the line, which I think is going to be a mission. Yeah. So we have build, paint them how they want you to paint them if you want them to. Reading, collecting, so we're going to tell us about the Einhyr Hearthguard, and then hold the line, which is going to be a final mission. And it helps if I'm actually on the right thing so I can see. It does help, doesn't it? So let's start putting these together. And there are lots of little bits. Oh, wonderful. Wonderful. So we start with... Of course we don't start with number 1. That would be the logical place, wouldn't it? We start instead with 73 and 79. Oh, of course we start with 73 and there's 73. Which it looks like a back part of a torso. Right here. Good morning, Twisted. I did get your message, it's just that I've been running around a little bit to respond to it, but I'm feeling okay-ish today. Oh, a fun day. Sparkles is going out with her mum. Let's go look at things that I'm not allowed to look at. Not yet, anyway. Around about a year before that happens. Give or take. Then I get to see it. But until then, nope. I'm not allowed. So just clean up some of the really annoying bits. I'm not sure what that was. I don't recognise the number. As far as I'm aware, I'm not due a phone call today. So, yeah, it can go away while I'm live. I had a missed call. It's funny that, because I kind of know I did, because I made sure I missed it. Well, they're supposed to be secretive about that is she's looking for her wedding dress. So yeah, I'm really not supposed to know about that until the very last day. Being that obviously the day I get married. It's the day I find out what the wedding dress looks like. Not saying she's going to pick it today, she's just going looking. So which means me and Mini Lads are home alone. Which I'm sure worries Sparkles just as much as me being here not home alone. Clear the glue. There we go. And then we want to put glue on the bottom bit. Because that's the bit that's connecting at the minute. And here, slots on. There. Or that slots on there, should I say. Then from there it is part number 77, which wasn't too far away if I remember correctly. No, 77 is just there. Lots of little fiddly pieces for these. 2 or 3 pieces for the legs, 3 pieces just for the torso. Lots of fiddly bits. And that clips on the, well, doesn't clip on, that glues onto the front. The glue points aren't the best, so be careful when doing this. Try and make sure you get as snug a fit as possible. Ah, yeah, well, if she's making her own dress, then yeah, it's going to be scattered around the house, but in Sparkle's case, I don't think she's making her own dress. Right. Build the various sub-assemblies and allow them to dry before putting them together. So in this case, it's saying do 80 and 81, which are the legs. I can see 80. I can see 82 and 83. Just can't find 81. Of course I can't find 81. That would make life easy, wouldn't it? I found 82 and 83. Is 81 on this sprue? I don't see why it would be, but you know, sometimes they put odd things all over the place so you can't find them. No, it's not on there, so... Ah, there's 81. Found it. We found 81, people. Can't panic. The panic is over. So snip out 81 first. And then we come down here for 80, which is the bottom half of it, the main bottom half of his leg. Again, clean up any nubbly bits that are going to cause a problem for connections. There we go. And then we need to put 80 and 81 together in this fashion. Does it go like together like this? Yeah, they do. Right, okay. Quick dry fit first, just because it was a small fiddly bit and I wanted to make sure where it goes. And then I'll try and slot this piece back in. And then we have his right leg. 82 and 83 were actually quite close together, weren't they? Yep, there you go, 82 and 83. Good morning, Nana. Naman, hello, good morning. Yes, we are building Einhyr Hearthguard this morning. Excellent bargain if you're within the UK at the minute. It'll be coming soon to other countries. I think they released it in the US recently for the combat patrol. So for a very cheap price I managed to get an entire unit of Einhyr Hearthguard. So we're putting them together following the instructions that it gives us in the magazine, which aren't always right. But we've done enough now that we can usually figure it out if there is a mistake. Just make sure we do dry fit stuff first before we put it on. We don't want to glue it on upside down or anything daft like that, which I have done before. Well, thank you for coming and joining me. And that will be my kitty cats asking for attention on something. And that is his left leg. Now it doesn't actually tell me what number this bit is here, which is the bit that drops in for where his head's gonna go. It doesn't tell me what number that bit is, which is a bit crappy, to say the least. So I'm going to have to figure that out in a minute. Before I figure that out, let's get the legs attached. These are very, very stumpy little Terminator things, aren't they? Practically our tactical dreadnought armour from the Space Marines, just smaller and squatter. You got some that are saying 57, some that are saying. Okay, so it's not actually give me an actual piece number for that. So let's see if it gives me the piece numbers for the rest of them, and then we can take it from there, hopefully. No, not on that one. Saying that one was number 20, 39 and 57. So 75, 78 are the only other two that are left. They do look practically the same, so let's clip one of those out. Sorry for getting your name in there, Naman. It is difficult for me to read on the portrait mode. Yeah, I wish I could get my hands to be controllable today, Twisted. I'm having quite a bit of difficulty just holding and getting these in what I think is going to be the right place. There we go. That's the torso. So it says 87, but it doesn't tell us the bit that clips onto 87, which is a gun. But it's saying it has a piece here that clips onto the side of it, and I'm not sure entirely what number that one is. Oh no, that is 87. So what's the gun part then? So the bit that glues on is 87. But it's not actually telling me what the gun is that he's got in his hand. Oh, these are really clever, these, aren't they? That's 28 for that one. That again doesn't tell us for that one. $47 for that one. 64. So 64, 48. And 28. So going off just what the gun looks like on its own, just off the image that is showing on there, I'm going to guess it's 85. It's not really not helping you. Really not helping. So 85 and then 87. I have got a cat that is going to get thrown out at this rate. If she doesn't calm it down. Right, so this bit needs to slot onto the back of that hand. Or this bit of the hand needs to slot onto the back of the gun, should I say. So going very, very snugly and very... Yeah, that's a very small piece to put on. Then it should have a nubbly little bit to connect up with its arm. And how's his hand supposed to go? Slightly pointing down. Okay, so there is actually a little slot for it to go into. It's just a very shallow slot. And I mean a very, very shallow slot. But it will fit, see? Oh, since that one is 88, which is a little wire bit. Very small little wire bit just here. And that bit needs to go on the back of the gun, joining it to his actual armour. God, these are so tiny, some of these. The sparks are just going out. I'll be back in 1 moment. Alright, that's it. She's letting me on my own. Lunatics have taken over the asylum. So there should be a little section back on his back and a little section on the butt of his gun. Which is such minuscule spots of glue. It's so fiddly to actually get in place. I understand why people use tweezers for this. Now I do understand the rule of cool, but sometimes they take it a little bit too far. Especially putting silly little things on like that. She has just gone out, Twisted. Just gone out. What do we need now? We need 90 and 92. Well, there's 90 and there's 90. Oh, that's nice and simple. They were next to each other. 90 and 92 were right next to each other. No idea where 91 is and all that lot, but yeah, 90 and 92 are next to each other. You could stop it now. You've got your cushion there and you've just been fed. Do not start shouting at me like you're the most depraved kiddie on the planet. Because we both know you're not. Yeah, that's it. You go cleaning yourself now. That is his other arm. A spot of glue in that little section on the back there. And on his arm. And then that's this section not glued. And I'm rushing. Really stop rushing. Because I'm knocking bits off. Such as the little pipe on the back here. Which we don't want to do. Oh, that's the wrong way around. For those of you wondering why Space Marines are so popular, this is your reason. They're not as fiddly as the rest. So then once we've done that bit, we have the two shoulder pads, the head and the crest. So 84 and 89 make the shoulder pads. Pardon me. There they are, 84 and 89. And big dock off shoulder pads. EB, good morning. Good morning. I got it this morning. I got it. It arrived. So I am putting them together how the magazine says. So these will all have plasma blades, I believe, instead of concussion gauntlets or anything like that. glue into the shoulder pad. And try my best to get it to actually go into the place. There we go. In this case I'm actually going to put it on here, just to make it easier for me. And then drop the shoulder pad in over the top. Okay, now we need a head and a crest. And then we have various different heads, some that look more like helmets, some that look less like helmets. Most of them look like old grumpy blokes. Good morning there. No, I can't read that name. I know it begins soup. So, sup, how you doing, man? What I'm doing is I'm putting together some Leagues of Votann Hearthkin. Is it Hearthkin? No, Einhyr Hearthguard. It's one of the elites for the Leagues of Votann. Essentially all grumpy old clone dwarfs sat in the middle of the Galactic Core, getting crushed. I won't be going through the painting today. These are for somebody else to paint in their own perfectly lovely colours. And we shall see eventually if they ever get that done. 97 as the head crest. And then we can glue him down on his base, and that's number 1 done. Good morning, Buzzard. How you doing, mate? And Ali and Dan, good morning. So early, it is, Dan, it is so early, but Wednesdays are always this early. The magazine gets put out, I go to the shop, I buy it once the shop opens and I'm able to, and then I come home and put them all together for the joys and happiness of everybody else. To watch me get frustrated at putting little plastic models together. Because certain bits aren't holding in place like I want them to. Oh, that one. That's just flopped off the top. There we go, we have one. One done. It only took us half an hour to put one model together. That's a good start, isn't it? So going off that is going to take me another 2 hours just to get the rest of them together. 1 and 4. I've got a feeling that's going to be the other sprue. There's one. Now I need to find 4, which is going to be the leg section for it. 4 is here. Which will clean up in a moment. Yeah, EP's going a bit nuts there on the production side and other sides of some of his things. So look forward to what's to come on his channel if you're a subscriber already. If you're not, then go check him out. It's not bad. You just drop out of that standard American Reacts niche quite a bit, so you get a good representation of various different things. 4, which I've just done, and the next is 2, which is this piece here, which is the front part of his torso. And then that little bit in there, that is a real pain in the ass to actually snip off. Oh, got it right this time. Woo! It can happen. It can work. Make sure we're getting enough glue on there so his body will join in. The Sweet Caroline metal version, Ali. That I don't know whether that's should be a good thing or an absolute travesty to the music itself. I'm not sure. So this bit has got to be number 75, even though it's not labelled. Just like 78 was the other bit that went in for the neck. Just through process of elimination, it has to be. So let's get the neck glued in. That way you can add some stability to the actual body itself. And then we start working on arms and things again. So in this case we want 10 with a pistol. That has already got a lead attached to it. That's the wrong one entirely. So this is going to be his right arm, okay. And it looks like a bolt. So I'm going to guess 11. It's not actually giving me a number for the weapon itself, but it does look like number 11. And with it being number 10 that attaches to it, you would think it's 11. Pretty much creating a narrative metaverse storyline that will tie in through the large and small react. Oh, this is good. This sounds like it's gonna be fun. You okay there, mate? Mini lads has just come down. And I don't know if he's trying to get away with me not knowing he's there, but he's obviously not working because I hear him come down. Or if he's just come down, got someone and disappeared again. Nope, it's just sounded like an elephant going upstairs. Fair enough. So 10 onto 11 gives us the gun arm. And then it is 14 and 16 to give us the blade arm. So there's 16. And there's 14. Excellent. close enough to each other. No, just on roughly the same part of the sprue is good enough. Here he comes, clunky clunky down the stairs. Hello, mate. Cat, out of all the people in this house, you're meowing at the one you run from. Just pointing that out to you.
Mum was meowing at me also.
That's what I meant, she was meowing at the one person she normally runs from. Now why isn't that gluing on? Yes.
Have you started your stream yet?
I'm in the middle of my stream right now, mate. In fact, Ali says hello.
Hello.
It is a bit of a, yeah. We have Ali in there mostly at the moment, and Dan as well. EB's bouncing between the two, and I think Buzz is bouncing between the two. Which of course makes conversations really easy for me to keep up with if somebody decides they want to start typing in both. It makes it ridiculously easy for me to keep up with then. I now know how cruel I have been to other streamers in the past with my let's chat in all chat rooms chat game. Line this hand up so it actually does fit. And Twisted says hello as well. To you, mate, not to me.
Hello, Dad.
Yes.
I actually found one of your guns this morning on my table, and I gave it to Mum.
One of my little plastic ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got to be careful when you're saying things like "found one of my guns" online, mate, because we're in England. I'm not supposed to have guns.
Oh, yeah.
Some people may get the wrong idea and think, "Hang about, is Laz armed?" No, Laz is not armed. So we need 5 and 6, which are right here next to each other, which are the legs. Yeah, I just spotted bits and I just realised they may be heads. And if they are, I am not happy with the fact that I've just put the other head on. So I'm going to save the heads to the very end so I can do helmets if need be. Ali's asking how you are, mate.
I am quite good because I'm really excited for Halloween.
You're quite good because you're really excited for Halloween.
Yes.
Oh, I know you're all ready with your ninja costume.
My wooden sword.
And your wooden sword. No, Mum's going to be worried that she might end up losing you on the street again.
She didn't. She did not lose me on the street last year.
Did she not lose you on the street last year? She lost you in the shadows.
Yes, she did.
That's one leg. 7 and 8, which make the other leg, which I hear quite close to where the other ones were, actually. That's good. Now I know I'm going to end up with loads of like concussion gauntlets and things left over. It's not a bad thing, spare parts are always good, but I don't have anything quite right for them to sit on. I mean, I suppose they could make up power fists for sergeants or other units for Space Marines. But they're just not quite the right size. Yeah, that's what I think I've just found. I think I've just found the closed visors twisted, so it's like, oh, they're going to be so much easier to paint than heads. I should not be cruel. I should not be cruel because I'm sending these to somebody else to paint. I should not be evil and give them all heads. I should be nice and give them helmets. Because, well, we both know which one's easier to paint, don't we? And it's helmets. Because skin tones are a pain. But unless the helmets can go on over the head, which will be a nice easy fix for the other one if it can. If not, I'm waiting just to find out if I can do helmets instead of heads. If it turns out I can only do heads, then I can only do heads. But I would like to do helmets. That's 2 done. That was quicker. That was a lot quicker. Right. Let's see if we can speed it up even more. 18, 21 and 19. So there's 18. There's 19 directly next to it. Where is 21? '21's there. Excellent. Good start. Good start. I may end up doing the reading sections again as a separate part, just because obviously I do have mini lads with me today. And that will help keep him occupied and stop a few other things happening. So I may do the reading side separately. We'll see how long it goes for me to actually build the Votan themselves. That is absolutely fantastic, Twisted. I am not learning to like painting faces. Faces is the one thing I've always dreaded when it comes to painting models. I like helmets. Helmets are good. Oh, I forgot to do his shoulder pads. I'm jumping ahead of myself there. 9 and 13. 9 and 13, I forgot to use big shoulder pads.
That's bad.
That is bad. There's 9. Oh, I've been sat there with all these shoulder pads wondering where they all go. Oh, that's because I forgot to put them on now. There's 13. Let's try getting that bit on first, shall we? Welcome back, Ali. Trying to get some of these to fit in the right position is, shall we say, awkward sometimes. Especially if you realise you've put them on backwards. It's not advisable. There we go, there we go, and there we go. There's always one that has to be an extra pain in the backside. Oh, the new version of Dan's channel. The fact that he's done a metal version of Sweet Caroline, he should know better. So that's that bit done. So now 19, which we did find a moment ago. There is. I just realised by the time I get through so much of this stuff, it's gonna be pretty much lunchtime. And I have to be a responsible adult today.
How come?
Mum's not here.
Oh.
Which means I've got to get you fed.
Mum could.
Well, yes, Mum is coming back just later. And then we're at number 20. Which is that head bit there. Or neck bit. Snipping them out is always the fun bit though. So just going off how present Minilaz wishes to be today. Yeah, I'm going to have to go get his lunch before I can continue doing much more after the building. Which, if nothing else, just goes to show I am a responsible parent and will do things to look after my son first. Now we need 22 and 23 to make a leg, which are there, and then 24 and 25, so they're all nice in a little section here together. Just a portion of it. Good morning, Steve. How you doing, Mum? I entered that caravan thing and I've had nothing but bloody phone calls since. Well, fingers crossed here I win. I will win. I win, you'll win. Somebody we know will win. Thank you for my cousin entered it. Just slipping, sliding, not doing what he wants to do. Strange bit of vibing. Get on there. Thank you. And then 24 and 25. Make his other leg. No worries, EB. You have a good day, mate. Thank you very much for calling in. These will be getting sent over to you once I've primed them. I'm not painting them for you. Do that yourself, lazy sod. But I'll prime them in very dark grey. How does this water go on? I think it wants to go on like that. It does. It does want to go on like that. They stand up pretty well on their own, actually. They're nice. So let's get that done there. And that done there. At least get his legs put in and then put him on a base, and then he can dry on the base while we're waiting for putting the other bits together. You just dry on the base for a minute while I do these arms. The first one is 27 and 28. So there's 27, which is a little bit up there. And 28, which is a gun there. So snip the gun out with part of the arm attached to it. Then we get 27, which is the back of his hand. Why did they do this in two separate bits? I have no idea. It's almost like they wanted to fill bits of the sprue up, so they took bits off that they didn't need just so they could put them elsewhere, so you have to clip them out and glue them. It really does feel that way sometimes. And then there's the back of that hand done. Oh! Okay, that was nice for them to let me know. I have an appointment tomorrow. I'd forgotten about that. 32 and 34. That's 34. Where's 32? 32 is there. Right, completely awkward to get to. But it is there. And the blade bit, which is 34. Should be easy to find because it is a blade bit with a big sword on it. Soundproofing is not really, well, it is an issue, I suppose, because children clunk around like children clunk around. But soundproofing is not something I'm overly worried about. Mainly because most of the noise happens on the other side of the house if it's happening from outside. so it's not too big of a deal right when it happens. Oh, this one's got two silly little bits that attach. Okie dokie. Let's get the arms attached first, and then I can start looking at the silly pipes and tubes. Two arms attached. And it's 35 and 30. So let's turn him round a minute so I can actually look. So 35 comes on this side, 30, that's right. Again, I don't like these little pipe bits. That's there and there. There's that one. And now for 30. Oh, these are awkward. These are awkward. That way around, okay. There, there. Then we drop it. We do our best to maneuver it into place. This pipe is not playing well. You get your straw hat on. Maybe one or two anime fans amongst you that are recognising that tune.
Which one? The one that I'm humming?
Yes, the one that you're humming. 26 and 31. There they are, 26 and 31. I'm this. "26, 31. Cat, I'm going to throw you out if you carry on." Old kitty or not, it's a warm day outside compared to the last few. So do not start. Again, glue into the shoulder pads because I'm going to remember to actually put these on this time. And it does actually have a notch on this one to help it go on. This one, not so much. This one you just got to line it up and get it right yourself. No notch on this one. No notch or ability to pick it up either, apparently. That's quite literally the closest it'll get to going on. That is not good. But there is everything apart from the head. Again, I'm seeing if the heads can take the helmets. He's not told me about any alternative head poses or things like that. It is telling me about someone with a grenade launcher. Which you could have told me about earlier, that would have been nice. And he's not giving anyone else the back crests. It's only giving the one the back crest. Right, so they all get grenade launchers. It's just not showing me how to put them on yet. And yeah, he gets a back crest. Okie dokie. So we want 38, 37 and 40 for number 4. Seven, 40, 30. I've clipped 38 out first instead of 40 and 37. Because although you could put them together in any order you want, sometimes there is a kind of specific order they can clip together in. In these cases, I figured you need to do the legs before you can do the front of the torso. So you have to do it in this case 37, 40 and then put the top of the torso on afterwards. So it's legs first, then body. Wardrobes. Yeah, there is bonfire night coming up soon. If you can keep hold of the wood stock, get it all ready for the local bonfire. I'm sure somebody will be around looking for spare bits of wood, and it'll save them nicking your fence. I'm surprised my fence has lasted this long, to be quite honest. It's survived a few years. 39 for the neck piece. That's just gone down into the pit of no return. I call it that. It's actually getting better now. See, look at that. How quick and easy was that to find? So your mouth was getting very, very dry then. So glue around the neck piece. Big section at the back, little section at the front, gives us torso. Which means 41, 42, 43 and 44. 43 and 44 are there, 41 and 42. So 41, 42, 43, 5. Relatively next to each other. Hey, we're getting somewhere. Of course, as the amount of bits goes down, the easier it is to find bits, because it's less to look for, or less to look at. And it becomes a little bit more obvious which ones are which then. Pardon me, sorry about that. 'Tis the season to be snotty, fa la 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 la. That's for one leg. $43. And 44. And this should make the second leg. It's becoming difficult now. I mean, it was difficult earlier. Now I'm starting to actually come round. Is making it worse. I know that doesn't sound like it should. Like, surely once you're coming round, you should be getting better. No, it means my tablets are wearing off. This is when I have to start rushing, so that I can keep my hands in. I do it while my hands are at least in a semi-functional condition, and my arms are working. I'm going to have to go lie down soon. That's not good. I will try and get these the first 5 finished, so we come back later on and do the rest. My health has seemed to be taking a little bit of a kicking recently, at least in regards to stability. I'm not quite as stable as I usually am, which let's just say isn't fun. So 47 and 48. There's 47. That was lucky. It's right in front of me. Of course it's right in front of me. The sprues are right in front of me, but it was the first one I looked at as well. That's 47. Now we need a 48, which is going to be a tiny little bit. There it is. This is tiny little section down here. Bit of glue on there, and then glue his hand in onto the back of the gun, and then the back of the gun gets glued into his arm here. Including trying to get the pipe in the right place as well. That's always a fun one. And then 50 and 52, which I would hope are quite next to each other. Yep, there they are. We have 50, which is so far one of the most awkward pieces of plastic I've had to cut out ever. And 52, which seems to be okay. I say that before I've actually made a snip. It seems to be. There we go. Nope. We're okay for cleanup. Not perfect, but we're okay. Attach the blade to the back of the fist. And you've got, yeah, of course, you've got a silly little piece of piping that's not attached to you, that needs to be attached to you. How on earth is that supposed? Aha. That's how. It will slot to a degree. It's kind of got a one-way fit because of the way the plastic actually is. And the way the dints and the mould lines kind of form together. It's a one-way fit for his arm. And 53, which is a little wire on its own over here. Very, very tiny little wire. Neighbour noise with your recording is not a good thing to have trouble with. And in that case, yeah, some kind of shielding or... That's a bit silly, that, Ali. I mean, I think private bonfires might be banned here as well. But... trick-or-treating, come on. As long as the kids aren't going out and being a nuisance, then they should be allowed to go out trick-or-treating. I mean, if they are going out being a complete nuisance, then no. But that'll be the same at any time of the year, really. If you're being a dick on the streets, then you're gonna get in trouble. Kids, I know kids. It really just does not want me to get this pipe on here. Maybe I'm trying. Right. Stay. Stay while I go find your shoulder pads. 45 and 49. So it's the last two. Last two on this sprue anyway. Okay, this is just weird. I've got spare bits that I didn't think I'd have. Okay. Seems to have a spare torso and almost a spare set of legs. Which, if you know Games Workshop, you don't get spare legs. Games Workshop don't do spare legs. They don't do anything with even the remotest chance of you being able to make more than what you should be able to out of a box. And if for 1 second they find out that you might actually be able to, then they're going to repackage the box so you can't. What they did with the arcs. You used to be able to get 11 models out of an arc box. Now you can't even get a full 10-man squad. Absolutely atrocious. It is absolutely atrocious. They are. They're helmets. Right, where are you? Are you coming out nicely? Yes, you are. Awesome. They can all have helmets. So the last thing I'm going to glue in is all the heads. The very last model it shows me is going, look, and these you can use as helmets instead of head. But I only have one back piece left, which is not number 55, it is number 79. And I have 74 and 76 left. I'll have 74, should I say. 76 left, should I say, for the legs. Oh, I have 58. It's saying 58 is the correct one to use. So we'll go with 58. Even though it looks very similar to 76. And I don't understand why we've got half a Votan left over. Hello, Sindri and Longinus. How are you both doing today? Sorry, I've been concentrating quite a lot on finding pieces and parts. Games Workshop sprues are not fun to manoeuvre around and find your way around, especially if you've never done the sprue or the kit before. And if you end up being left over with spare parts and it's like, well, that bit's supposed to go with that and it's not, why is it not working? And that's not the right number, so why is that not working? I've got a whole front of a Votan there. Got the legs and the front of his body and just missing the back section of his torso. So you can almost get 6 guys out of this kit. Which I'm sure Games Workshop are not happy about. Oh, Longus is Sindri. Good morning. Look, medication's wearing off. Brain isn't functioning. Brain never functions anyway. Let's face it. But brain is not functioning. Medication is wearing off. Hopefully I'm going to be able to get through today without doing anything daft. But I'm not guaranteeing anything. But I am going to have to... I got lots of phone calls recently. It comes up suspected spam that I get rid. So clip the neck piece in. And then we want the legs, which are 59 and 60. 61 and 59, 60, 61 and 62. There we are. All in this nice section here. So 59 first. Yeah, phone call. I'm not answering it. But yeah, phone call. if it's anyone who knows me, will know not to phone at this time. And if it's people that don't know me, then, well, they don't know me, so I don't particularly care. Okay, Mini Lass has found his way downstairs again.
Yes.
Waiting for me to finish off this final model so we can go get lunch.
It's not even lunchtime yet.
I've not finished my final model yet.
I know that.
Still working on legs. Yeah, just say no. I'm not answering that phone call. I can't say no to my son. He needs food. And as long as he doesn't start doing anything silly like trying to edge himself onto camera or anything daft like that, so I can concentrate and actually get this done, and then we can go get something to eat. However, if he distracts me by trying to edge himself onto camera all the time, then yeah, takes me longer. So hint, 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 let me do it. Then we can go get lunch. In case you're wondering why this week's is so different from all the others, well, this week is school holidays. So it's taken a little bit of extra time for us to be able to come on and do this. And obviously we have other things to do as well. So we need, what do we need? We need 64 and 66 for his gun hand, which is here. Which I have almost dropped. And where was 66? 66 was all the way up at the top. So by the looks of it, you get a choice of either the plasma blades or the concussion gauntlets when you're doing these. I mean, part of me's going, oh, poor kitty cat with the cone. But there's another part of me that goes, kitty cats look funny with the cone.
Oh.
Like my kitty cat included, because she had one on a while ago and she looked funny.
True. Quite funny.
Obviously, I'd rather her not have had to have it, and she would have been in a healthy condition to not need it in the first place. But well, seeing as it was all well and good, and she was on the mend, then yeah, it became funny. Cause it was doing her head in. Right, so now we need 69 and 71, which are that 69 with the pipe on it, and then 71, which is the bladed arm. And there's the blade. Let's get that cut off. Glue into the section that needs gluing, which you do need a lot of now in these combat patrols. Gone are the days of the push fit models and the no glue required. Such easy fun times. And now we get to try our best to line up models with bits where it says it should go. Whether it's going to is a different matter. Right, last one is 67 for his little wire, and then it's 5 heads. And that'll be the Leagues of Votan put together and finished for this collection. Let's try and get glue in the right places. And then try my best to line them up where they're supposed to go without knocking everything else out of sync, out of place in the meantime. Like his arm here. The final base. And then I just realised I've got heads and grenade launchers left to do after 2 shoulder pads. And I should only have 2 shoulder pads left. And there they are. 68 and 63. For once they are correct. Push fit are fun and are easier. Sometimes they don't always push together though. I've done a lot of push fit. I've had a lot of push fit. And sometimes you just have to go, nope, I'm snipping it off and I'm gluing it. Which is not always ideal, but sometimes you just have to. Because it ain't playing ball. And if you try to play cricket and it doesn't want to, it makes it difficult. One shoulder pad. That went a little bit too easily. I'm worried now. Two shoulder pads. Again, went a little bit easy. I'm worried. Right, now we need the helmeted heads instead of the non-helmeted heads. Because sod doing helmeted heads. How easy these are going to be to go in, I'm not sure. Because they look very flat. Right, okay, these are once they're in type helmets. Okay. They're little curved egg dome things. Well, yeah, unless you have to glue everything down. I'm not too bad on the I have to glue everything down. I do. But when I do use glue, I do have a tendency to overuse it a bit. Why haven't you connected at all to any of this? There we go. That's 2. Three. For they literally only give you enough helmets that are covered to do the unit. No spares, no variations. If you want full face coverings, you only get 5 helmets. Loads of different faces, and a couple of open helmets. But no, only 5 closed. I'm not liking them helmets. Them helmets are awful. They're better than heads for painting, but they're awful. Absolutely terrible heads. And like you've got one chance to get it into some kind of position that you want it in, and if you miss that chance, that's it, it's gone. That is not a good way of doing things, Games Workshop. That is not a good way of doing things. Okay, so 17, 36, 54. So there's a crap load of little shoulder mounted guns. So it's 98 one of them, 98 is one of them. And they clip in and they glue into the back to be a shoulder mounted grenade launcher thing. So they should have a little peg on them, supposed to glue into the little peg slot on the back there. Well, there's 5 of them. Although I've only found, this is my second one I've found so far. And from there, that should be all of them done. Huzzah! I have some trouble with it. Oh yeah, no, we've read that one. We've read that one. I don't remember which ones I've read and which ones I've not. And not having a good memory doesn't help. Especially when you think you're not keeping up with chat, and in fact you have kept up with chat. Remarkably well for a change. Which is a big difference for me, I don't usually keep up this well. And there's probably some people going, yeah, but you've missed half of my comments. I'm sorry I've missed half of your comments. I missed half of most of people's comments. Unless for some reason it is a continuous torrent of comments, in which case it comes up as a big block and I see it. Two more guns to go on, and then I will be calling today's stream for the putting together completed. The Einhyr Hearthguard, they do have a method they would like you to use, which let's face it, it's going to consist of mostly painting black and then lots of washes to get it to look to the standard they want you to get it to. They do rely on the Agrax Earthshade Null Oil Wonder washes. And they'll give you a base colour for armour as well. From there, it's pretty much the same as everything else that you've done. Leather gets done leather. Fiery stuff gets done fiery stuff. So what's the base colour they're going to ask you for in this one? Base coat any faces in Wraithbone, everything else gets done in black. Catachan flesh, obviously, if you want a dark skin tone. Lead belcher on all the metal pieces, including the exoskeleton parts, the spines, the cables, the guns. Corax white on the white hair. Gotta remember everyone, they're all grey. Mephiston red on some of the cabling, the weapons, the plasma blades, and some of the buttons. So in case there you can see that they're just doing some of the like little buttons on the chests and belts and things in Mephiston red. What else are they doing? That's going to be over the top. Oh, all the glyph markings. Okay, so all the glyph markings are Retributor armor. So all the little markings on the armor. And then a few sets with Avalon Sunset. So a knee pad and the casing for the guns in Avalon Sunset. Shading, facial hair, armor, and the blade to be done with Northern Oil. Agrax Earthshade for only the gold and the cabling. Reichland Flesh Shade for the flesh and the yellow. Back here and over, if you have done the helmet like I've done, they're going to want you to edge highlight the visor and the head crest with Stormhost Silver, Quest on Night Flesh or Pallid Witch Flesh depending on which skin tone you've gone for, and Mechanica Standard Grey to do all the edge highlight, all the blacks. And from there you should get what they want you to have as the Einhyr Hearthguard. That's what they want them to look like. Not saying you've got to do it, but that's what they want them to look like. Later on this evening I will follow up with the Hearthkin and Hold the Line, which is mostly the reading sections. Although, just to cover and make sure that everyone is aware, that next week we will be getting our first Genestealer Cult model, which is the Magus, the leader, and then the week after is 2 more paints. We will be getting a Caliban Green and Wild Rider Red, as well as learning more about vehicles and the Genestealer Cults over those 2 weeks. Well, thank you very much for joining me for this morning section where I've built them. As I said, I will be coming back later to do the reading sections once Sparkles is home and can entertain mini lads without me having to do it as well. It's not easiest while you're online to do it all, but we do our best. Thank you very much for everyone for coming to join me, and all my Patreon members and anyone who's subscribed. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you later. Drive safe.